Okay. So Bhumi Devi, in the form of cow, is replying to Prthu Maharaj. My dear Lord, by your own potencies, you are the original cause of the material elements, as well as the performing instruments. The senses, performing instruments can be maybe referred to as karmendriyas, an original cause of material elements, which is Bhumi, Apo, Nalo, Vayu, Kham, Mano, and Buddhi, and Ahankar. The workers of the senses, the controlling demigods, the intelligence and the ego, as well as everything else. By your energy, you manifest this entire cosmic creation, maintain it and dissolve it. Through your energy alone, everything is sometimes manifest and sometimes not manifest. You are therefore the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. So, Krishna is the cause of all creation, maintenance. He maintains it and he dissolves it also. Everything is coming from Krishna. What is the Vedanta Sutra? Which aphorism of Vedanta Sutra states that everything is coming from the absolute truth? Hmm?
जन्म जन्म जन्माद्यस्य itu origin.
Correct. Janmadi yasya yataha. So, the second Vedanta Sutra, I think. First is Athado Brahma Jigyasa. Let me inquire into the absolute truth. Now that I have got the human form of life, now therefore, let me inquire into the absolute truth. And then the absolute truth is defined in the second one. Janma Adi, beginning from creation, etc. Adi. Is that absolute truth is that from which creation, etc. Everything begins. So like that. So Krishna is the cause of everything. We know that. All activities begin with creation of the total energy. The Mahat Tattva. There is Mahat Tattva and there is Pradhan. What is the difference between Mahat Tattva and Pradhan? Anybody like to say? Mahat Tattva is the, what is the difference? We have heard this, right? Mahat Tattva and Pradhan.
I don't remember.
I think one is a material energy and material world, right?
So here, unmanifested eternal combination of three modes is the cause of manifest state and is called Pradhan. Pradhan means it is unmanifested. And then when there is interaction of the three modes of material nature, it is called Prakriti. So then what is Mahat Tattva? Thereafter, influenced by the interactions of eternal time, the supreme sum total of matter, called the Mahat Tattva, became manifested. And this Mahat Tattva, the unalloyed goodness of the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Lord sowed the seeds of universal manifestation out of his own body. So, Pradhan is unmanifested and in undifferentiated. So everything is nothing is you cannot differentiate anything. It's just unmanifested also. So that means you can't even see it. Prakriti is matter in its manifested and undifferentiated state. Mahat Tattva is matter in its manifested and differentiated state ready for creation. So from unmanifested, undifferentiated Pradhan comes Prakriti, and then from Prakriti comes Mahat Tattva. Looks like that. So these are the three. Anyway, these are all technical terms. Then by the agitation of the three, so undifferentiated, unmanifested, that is Pradhan. Then Prakriti is manifested but undifferentiated. And then Mahatattva is differentiated and manifested. Then, by the agitation of the three gunas, the physical elements are created, as well as the mind, ego, and the controllers of the senses. So, then, modes of material nature, everything, all of these are created one after another by the inconceivable energy of the Lord. In modern electronics, a mechanic may, by pushing only one button, set off an electronic chain reaction. So we have so much now, you can say, so much automation that by pushing one button you can create so many things and like that. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead pushes the button of creation and different energies create the material elements and various controllers of physical elements and their subsequent interactions follow the inconceivable plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Krishna is just, he desires basically, and then things happen. Okay, his energies start working. Okay, this is all she's saying. My dear Lord, you are always unborn. Once in the form of the original boar, you rescued me from the waters in the bottom of the universe. So earth had fallen into the causal ocean, and Varaha Dev picked up. So she is remembering how you saved me, just like gopis are remembering how Krishna saved them. Through your own energy, you created all the physical elements, the senses, and the heart for the maintenance of the world. This refers to the time when Lord Krishna appeared as the supreme boar Varaha and rescued the earth, which had been merged in water. The Asura Hiranyaksha had dislocated the earth from its orbit and thrown it beneath the waters of the Garbhodak ocean. So, in the Garbhodak ocean. Then the Lord, in the shape of the original boar, rescued the earth. My dear Lord, in this way you once protected me by rescuing me from the water, and consequently your name has been famous as Dharadhar. Dhara is, I think, earth, and Dhara means one who holds the earth. He who holds the planet Earth. Yeah, here it is. Yet at the present moment, in the form of a great hero, you are about to kill me with sharpened arrows. I am, however, just like a boat on the water, keeping everything afloat. Just like yesterday we were discussing. Gopis were saying, "Oh, you saved us from so much danger, so many things previously. Now you are about to kill us. You are killing us by not showing yourself." So it is contrast to what you did previously. So the Lord is known as Dharadhar, meaning he who keeps the planet Earth on its tusks, as the boar incarnation. Thus, the planet Earth, in the shape of a cow, is accounting the contradictory acts of the Lord. So previously you saved me, now you are about to kill me. Although he once saved the earth, he now wants to upset the earth, which is like a boat on the water. No one can understand the activities of the Lord. Due to a poor fund of knowledge, human beings sometimes think the Lord's activity is contradictory. So sometimes he does this, sometimes he does that. So you may think he's not consistent. But Prabhupada is saying those who don't have knowledge, they think like that. My dear Lord, I am also the creation of one of your energies, composed of the three modes of material nature. Consequently, I am bewildered by your activities. Even the activities of your devotees cannot be understood, and what to speak of your pastimes. Thus, everything appears us to be contradictory and wonderful. So sometimes Krishna's activities and his devotees' activities also can't be understood. Why they are doing what they are doing. What is that thing about not understanding the activities of Vaishnava?
वैष्णवेला क्रिया मुद्रा विगे ना बुझाए.
Vaishnava. Kriya means activities. Mudra means his thoughts, I think. Na bujhai means we cannot understand. The activities of Supreme Personality of Godhead in its various forms and incarnations are always uncommon and wonderful. It is not possible for a tiny human being to estimate the purpose and plans of such activities. Therefore, Jiva Goswami has said that unless the Lord's activities are accepted as inconceivable, they cannot be explained. The Lord is eternally existing as Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Golok Vrindavan. He has also simultaneously expanded himself in innumerable forms, beginning with Lord Ram, Lord Narasimha, Lord Varaha, and all the incarnations coming directly from Sankarshan. Sankarshan is the expansion of Baladev, and Baladev is the first manifestation of Krishna. Therefore, these incarnations are known as Kala. Ramadi Murtishu Kala Niyamena Tishtham. The word Ishwaranam refers to all personalities of Godhead, as stated in Brahma Samhita. Ramadi Murtishu. Okay, it's coming. Kala Niyamena Tishtham. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is confirmed that all incarnations are partial expansions of Kala. Ete Chansha Kala Pumsam Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead. Kala is expansion and Ansha is expansion. Uh, Ansha is part, Kala is the expansion. What is that expansion of expansion, right? It's called also. There is Swansha and Vipinansha also. So, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is confirmed that all incarnations are partial expansions or Kala of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, the Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ansha is like the expansion of expansion, maybe. One should not take the plural number of word Ishwaranam to mean that there are many Godheads. The fact is that God is one, but He exists eternally and expands Himself in innumerable forms and acts in various ways. Sometimes the common man is bewildered by all this and considers such activities contradictory, but they are not contradictory. There is a great plan behind all the Lord's activities. For our understanding, it is sometimes said that the Lord is situated in the heart of the thief as well as in the heart of the householder. But the super soul in the heart of the thief dictates, go and steal things from that particular house. Krishna is telling the thief, go and steal. And we might think, why Krishna is saying like that? And at the same time, the Lord tells the householder, now be careful of thieves and burglars. Put an alarm, put a security, have a dog, whatever. So, one side the Lord is saying to the thief, go and steal. Is that correct? Um, is the Lord saying like that? Prabhupada is saying. These instructions to be different persons appear contradictory, yet we should know that the super soul, the supreme personality of Godhead, has some plan. We should not consider such activities contradictory. The best course is to surrender unto the supreme personality of Godhead wholeheartedly and being protected by Him remain peaceful. So, how do you reconcile this? What is the understanding Prabhupada is saying? So, if I'm doing something wrong, is Krishna giving me that thought?
I mean, he reminds you of your desires. Sarvasya Jam Ridhi Sinimishtu. But why would he tell some? Yeah, I don't understand. It's his mind telling him, go and steal something. Not the super soul.
Yeah, according to our desire, Krishna is dictating. That you wanted this, you want this, so He's sanctioning. Sometimes He says like that, Prabhupada, that in your last life you wanted this, so now here is the opportunity. Krishna is saying, okay, you've forgotten about it, but so, yeah, so whatever we desire according to that Paramatma is saying, is giving the intelligence, uh, remembrance, knowledge, intelligence is giving. So we can't blame him because we are desiring and he's giving. Sometimes reluctant, most of the time reluctantly, but he's giving. Even to do bad activities, like they bombed the World Trade Center, right? Who gave the intelligence to bomb? Krishna only gave. But because they wanted it, so Krishna said, okay, take it. They planned it so meticulously, right? They took pilot training and then all these things. And so Krishna is helping us fulfill our desires. We may say, why Krishna is helping us fulfill our desires? Because we are not going to listen to him. We are stubborn. So Krishna is reluctantly helping us to fulfill our desires. What is the example that Prabhupada's son, right? He wanted to do.
Prabhupada, sir. Yeah, put his finger in the fan.
He
And
said
Prabhupada
no.
turned off the.
Yeah, he said don't do it, right?
Yeah.
So we are insisting so much. We are stubborn. So Krishna is helping. We are saying, no, Krishna, I will do my own thing. Okay. Krishna says, okay, go to the material world. I'll create a situation where you can do your own thing. So, so he created the illusion. Maya is also Krishna's creation for us to, because we wanted to be in that situation. So Krishna created that situation. So we can't blame Krishna. Because any desire you have, good or bad, good means to come closer to Krishna. Bad means to go away from Krishna. That is also fulfilled by Krishna only. And if he doesn't sanction for anybody, then they cannot fulfill their desire. We, so it is said, we can only desire. One time, one person, he went to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, what is the one thing that will keep us in Krishna consciousness? And Prabhupada said,
Desire.
it is desire.
And Prabhupada says hardly anybody desires to go back home, back to God.
Uh, yeah, because we are so fools, we are thinking this material world here, I have to achieve so many things. I will bring the stars here, something जैसे ना तारे तोड़ के लाएंगे हम ऐसा कुछ हम सोच रहे हैं we are going to do such things. We don't have, we are in our you know own world, illusory world. We are thinking I have to do this, I have to do that, and not knowing the whole picture. We have invented so many duties. This is my duty, that is my duty. I have to do this, I have to do that. And then we forget Krishna's. So, like that, Maya, we are fool. We have become fool in Maya, and we are busy, 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 busy. So Prabhupada says, busy for nothing ultimately. So, and the material world is set up like that in Kali Yuga. So if you want to earn, then you have to go through a certain way of living, right? You have to go through school, you have to go through this, all these courses, and so you have to follow that. So, like that. And the idea is that, yeah, because everything needs money, so everything is geared after, how to make money. Even if we don't like to do it, because without money we can't sustain ourselves. So we have to do so many types of work which we really don't like to do. But because there is a need, right, to get money and work and like that. So we are forced to do all these things, and this is how the situation is. So what can we do? The world is made like that, so we have to. But somebody may like say, no, no, I don't want to follow this ordinary course of activities, just like going through this kind of activities. I will surrender to Krishna, and I will. And then Krishna maintains them also. Those are like all these devotees, right? Who joined the temple and things like that. They said, no, no, we are not going to follow this ordinary course of. Of course, you can also be a devotee following the ordinary course in the material world, but there are some who have kind of said, no, 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 we can't, we don't want to go through this 50, 60 years of hard work, then retiring, then saving for your retirement, trying to do some patchwork solution, and then get some money, and then dying like that, getting some disease. Like some people say, you're just going to eat something, have some children, and do some work and then die. Is that all there is to life? Just, of course, people will say, no, no, I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying, I'm going on this vacation, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So, like that, there is also some enjoyment, material enjoyment is there, but you have to work very hard for material enjoyment. And material enjoyment sometimes works, sometimes doesn't work. So, like that. And everybody is doing like that, so we think this is how life, which life has to be. But in Satya Yuga, they were all very spiritually inclined. So the culture was like self-realization. Even in Ram's pastime, Ramayana, when Dashrath Maharaj was visited by Vishwamitra Muni, Dashrath Maharaj asked Vishwamitra Muni, so how is your business? That we have to become free from cycle of birth and death. That was the main focus. And everything else like was subsidiary, secondary. But now the main focus in Kali Yuga with general mass of people is how to make money, how to do a career, how to do this, how to, then nobody is thinking that, oh, I have to get out of the cycle of birth and death and become a lover of God like that. So, because that requires faith also, right? All these things require faith that you are the soul and there is a spiritual world and we are supposed to go from this material world to the spiritual world. So, that requires faith. And that faith has been like weakened by all the scientists, what they say, and they come up with all the theories, and everybody believes in science. The Darwin's theory of evolution and so many things. They've put up Big Bang theory, how this universe came about. So then it seems like, yeah, it's all nothing but physical laws which are working and everything, and there is nothing but matter. So, and combination of matter generates consciousness. So there is nothing like the soul. And after death, everything is finished. So like that. So then all these things, ideas come up. So our faith also weakens. And mostly most people are not into the spiritual culture. So because what to do? The age is like that, right? I mean, everybody has to work very hard. Like in Bombay, if you go to Bombay in the morning, the trains are like jam packed, so many people going. So, because they have to work, there is no job. The job is like so many hours away. Take a train and go like that. So, this is how this civilization has been built up. So, we are in part of that. So, thoughtful person thinks, what am I doing? Only because you have need of money, you can't think all these things. So, Krishna says, those who are born in opulence, then generally they will think of, I mean, he says in the Suchinam Shrimatam Gehe Yoga Prashta Abhijayate. So he gives a nice situation to the, so that they can think about, if a beggar is not having anything to eat, then he cannot think of self-realization. Because his first thing is to survive. How can he think of God? There's nothing in his stomach. So most people like that, struggling very hard to make their ends meet. The family, Sometimes people ask, why policemen takes bribe in India? So many policemen take bribe. Because if they have a family, I'm not justifying this, that they should take bribe. But the salary is like 7,000 rupees or 8,000 rupees, and they have 5 children, 3 children or whatever, and family and mother and father and all this, everybody's. Then how are they going to maintain? Of course, sometimes they take out of greed also, but sometimes it's not like they don't have enough money. So, so Krishna says, I will create a situation for my devotee so he doesn't have to worry about all these things. The money, because money means like you have to do all this material activities, and this. I will create a situation in which he can be free to do self realization only. I'll put him in a nice, rich family, or of course, in a family of devotees also. He says, after a long practice, then he gets into a family of devotees. But when you have these things, then you can devote yourself to self realization because you don't have to worry about. So, like that. Okay, so it is Krishna's mercy if we are in a situation where we get time to read the scriptures. Of course, you can be Krishna conscious while doing your work, and also like you can be frustrated and remember Krishna. Right? That is also there. You can be even more Krishna conscious when you are in danger or something like that, and you remember Krishna, or you don't like something and you're praying to Krishna. Like Draupadi was extremely Krishna conscious, right, at that time when. So desperateness and things like that also makes you more Krishna conscious. And a complacent situation may make you less Krishna conscious. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, right, he used to say, we will not pay for we'll always uh, keep it rented, right? Something he was saying that we'll always keep you on your toes, so that if complacency sets in, then you cannot become very Krishna conscious. So if complacency sets in, like with our family and or whatever, even in the brahmachari ashram, if complacency sets in, there is no anxiety, then like that. So we have to be anxious about achieving Krishna. So he says we would like to be on our toes. Like Prabhupada always kept his devotees on toes. Now you go here, now you go there to spread Krishna consciousness. So always some pressure. So that under that pressure, then we will make spiritual advancement also. Like in our school also, if there is no pressure, nobody is going to study. So if there is pressure, then of course it's a joyful thing. So it's not like we are bogged down by the pressure. It's a joyful thing. So like that. So it's good in that sense. The great saint, but nobody can put pressure on us. We have to put pressure on ourselves because devotional service is voluntary, and nobody can put pressure on us to do anything or to remember Krishna. We have to ourselves decide only, like by reading scriptures and make our own choice. So the great saint Maitreya continued to address Vidura. My dear Vidura, at that time, after the planet Earth finished her prayers, King Prthu was still not pacified, and his lips trembled in great anger. Although the planet Earth was frightened, she made up her mind and began to speak as follows in order to convince the king. So after all this glorification, Prithu Maharaj was not pacified. Still he was in anger. My dear Lord, please pacify. So Earth, Bhumi Devi is further saying, my dear Lord, please pacify your anger completely and hear patiently whatever I submit before you. Please turn your kind attention to this. I may be very poor, but a learned man takes the essence of knowledge from all places. Just as a bumblebee collects honey from each and every flower. This is also the lesson that the Avadut Brahmana learned from the bumblebee, right?
Right.
So, what is that? It says bumblebee should collect honey from each and every flower. So, like, isn't it said sannyasi should take little bit from every place, one who is doing madhukari, so it doesn't become attached to one place. A little bit from everywhere, and nobody is burdened, like that. Also, it is said, and That's why he travels. They say sannyasis don't stay for more than 3 days at one place. So from every house, he will take little bit, little bit. Okay, so from everything, the essence has to be taken. Like we have to
Saragrahi.
Saragrahi, Vaishnav. Correct. So there are so many scriptures, but what is the essence of all the scriptures? Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja. That is the essence of everything. Surrender to Krishna. So there are other
Always,
huh?
always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna.
Manmana bhava madbhakto. Yeah, that is the essence. Smartavya satatam Vishnu. So so then everything we should do is to come to this platform that always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. So we have to analyze. Sometimes there are choices. So this, that, this. Okay, is it going to increase your remembrance of Krishna? Okay. Is it going to make you more uh, in love with Krishna? Okay, yes, then accept it. Is it going to make you forget it? Okay, then reject it. So we say there are three D's, right? There is discrimination, determination, and
Yes.
discipline. Discipline. So after you make discrimination, this will make me closer to Krishna, this will take me away from Krishna. Then you have to have determination. You know all the things, yeah, what is to be done, what is not to be done. After you read Shastra, Tasmat Shastra Pramanante Karya Vyavastito Gyatva Shastra Vidhanoktam Karma Kartum Iharasi. Yeah, after you know, then you have to have determination to do the right thing and give up the wrong thing. And that determination also is not easy. Prabhupada says that determination comes with chanting the holy name. So, determination is also product of intellectual conviction and experience. So, when you have experience, then you say, no, no, I don't want this. This is very bad. Yeah, I have tried it. I don't want to. And you will not do it. You say, no, no, it gave me a bad experience. So, like that. So that you will not do the thing that is you're not supposed to do. And you'll do the thing because you got good experience or you have intellectual conviction that this is the right thing to do. So everybody has a value system. Yesterday I was talking about this. Value system means what you think is most important in your life. Everybody has something. That is where you put your time, energy, your money, because that you think is most valuable in my life. So the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changes our value system. If you get mercy, means your value system changes. What you were thinking, what was important previously, is no longer important now. Or it may be important still, but you connected with Krishna's service like that. So, so those who have value system that they want to get out of this cycle of birth and death, they want to become a lover of Krishna, or they want to do devotional service. They will invest their time, they will invest their energy, their money in enhancing that. So slowly and gradually, our value system needs to change by reading scriptures, by association of devotees, like that. And it has changed, right? So to some degree for everyone, or to more degree for somebody's. So like that. And we cannot say everything is same, right? Every value system is same. Oh, this person likes this person likes that. It is just, yeah, then there are different destinations, right? So if you like this, if you like that, generally sometimes we say like that, right? Everybody has the right to pursue the happiness the way they want, which is correct. The American Constitution gives us the freedom of doing that. Of course, not encroaching on others and harming others, but yeah, everybody has the right to pursue the happiness that they seek. in the way they want. They want. Yes, but then the destinations are going to be different. So how do you say that? Well, we say that based on scriptures. Yanti deva vrata devan pitrinanti pitrin vrata. Bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti madhyajino pimam. Krishna says, oh, if you worship the devatas, you go to the devatas. You'll not come back to me. You go to the devatas. So similarly in this world, there's consequences, and there is, like, whatever you do, that's the direction you're going. So everybody believes in something, what they want in life, and so we have to accept the scriptures, and that's where the difficulty is. Why would I accept what somebody is telling me? I will figure out on my own what my value system should be. I will figure out what is most important to me, and that what is most important to you is shaped by your society and your association and like that. So if you are with the devotees, then you will consider Krishna consciousness as or you read the scriptures and you read Srila Prabhupada's words, then you will come to accept that yes, this is the most important thing. Prabhupada is trying to convince us like that. So, but if you are not in association of devotees and not reading the books of Srila Prabhupada, then we'll be convinced something else is more important in my life. And that is the greatest obstacle to Krishna consciousness, to think that other things are more important or more worthy of pursuing than Krishna consciousness. So like that. Most of the time we think, how will my material situation be taken care of, right? Because I don't have enough money, so I have to, do this and that. So that is why we are in a helpless situation, because we are forced to act in this way, because there is no money, there is no, or sometimes you have money, but then you think this is not I should do something else. I have money. So like that, our mind is like, giving. So to benefit all human society, not only in this life but in the next, the great seers and sages have prescribed various methods to conducive to the prosperity of people in general. Principles as given by the great sages are known as Smriti. So there is Shruti, Smriti. Shruti is that which is, what Shruti means what? Shruti is
Hearing.
hearing. So there is Shruti. In the Shruti and Smriti, there are different categories.
Mhm.
Huh?
Shruti is the word spoken directly by the Lord.
And Smriti is that which is remembered, right?
So, recollecting.
Recollected. So Shruti and Smriti. So they say sometimes Vedas, is Bhagavad Gita considered a Smriti or a Shruti? There was a nice video about this, Shruti, Smriti, and what falls under. We have Aranyakas, Itihasas, and other things, right? And what falls under Shruti and Smriti. So, just to refresh our understanding. We will play a short video. Okay, Shruti, Smriti, Puranas, Upanishads. There was a chart.
Yeah, I have it. Basically.
You pasted it. Okay, like that. So we have Shruti and Smriti. Revealed absolute truth, every word unchanged eternally. That is Shruti. So sometimes people say Shruti is the main thing, but it's not correct. composed by sages. Wordings may change from age to age. So we have under Smriti, we have Puranas. Vedas, you have all this. Rig, Yajur, Sam, and Atharva. And then there is Samhitas. Okay, so they are directly the word of God. And these are like, of course, Bhagavad Gita is also directly the word of God. Want to explain this chart?
There's Bhagavad Gita mentioned here. Upanishad.
It is called Gita Upanishad. Aranyakyas Upanishads, Kalpa, Siksha, Vyakaran, Nirukta, Chandas.
Yeah, Bhagavatam is like a Puran. Bhagavad Puran, so it's under Smriti. And Bhagavad Gita is Upanishad, so it's under Shruti.
Okay.
Bhagavad.
Yeah, and we will see this small video.
Hare Krishna.
We saw this before.
Chaitanya Charan Prabhu was saying that Gita is both. It's come under the Shruti and Smriti.
Because it's the word of God.
Okay.
Why is it Smriti? Because
it was, and the Shruti is spoken by the Lord, and something was like because
Ved Vyas is writing it in Mahabharata, right? He's recollecting. That would mean everything is a Smriti because Ved Vyas is writing it.
But yeah, sometimes you say Ved Vyas is an incarnation of God also. So what he's writing is also like, but then, yeah. Okay, let's see what this.
आज हम चर्चा करेंगे वैदिक शास्त्र कितने प्रकार के होते हैं। वैदिक शास्त्रों को मुख्यतः दो भागों में बांटा गया है। एक को कहा जाता है श्रुति और दूसरे को कहा जाता है स्मृति। श्रुति का अर्थ है साक्षात भगवान की वाणी, यानी कि वैदिक शास्त्र। श्रुति का एक अर्थ माँ भी है, माता। जिस प्रकार माता अपने बच्चों को शिक्षा देती है। श्रुति के शब्दों में समय के साथ कोई परिवर्तन नहीं होता, वे अपरिवर्तनीय हैं। लेकिन इन्हीं वैदिक शास्त्रों को सुनकर, समझकर और अपनी स्मरण शक्ति से जब दोहराया जाए तो उसको स्मृति कहते हैं। उदाहरण के लिए, एक माँ के दो पुत्र हैं, तो बड़े पुत्र ने माँ से पहले सुन रखा है और अपने छोटे भाई को जो उसने माँ से पहले सुना हुआ है उसको समझकर अपनी भाषा में बताता है, तो वो स्मृति कहलाता है। इसलिए बड़े बड़े ऋषि मुनों के द्वारा वैदिक शास्त्रों को जो दोहराया जाता है अपने ही शब्दों में, उसको स्मृति कहते हैं। स्मृति के शब्दों में काल के अनुसार, युग के अनुसार परिवर्तन हो सकता है। लेकिन हमें ये नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि श्रुति और स्मृति में आपस में कोई विरोधाभास है। जैसे एक संतान को पालन पोषण के लिए परिवार के सभी सदस्यों की आवश्यकता है, इसी प्रकार श्रुति और स्मृति शास्त्रों से मिलकर हम वैदिक शास्त्रों को अच्छे ढंग से समझ सकते हैं। स्मृति शास्त्रों में मुख्यतः दो प्रकार के शास्त्र हैं, इतिहास और पुराण। इतिहास जैसे कि रामायण, महाभारत, और पुराणों में जैसे मुख्यतः 18 पुराण हैं। इतिहास और पुराण में क्या अंतर है? इतिहास यानी कि किसी एक विशेष वंश के या किसी एक व्यक्ति के बारे में बताया जाता है। जैसे रामायण में रघुवंश के विषय में सारी कथा है, महाभारत में कुरुवंश के विषय में कथा है। और पुराण एक विशेष संवाद को लेकर है। जैसे भागवतम पुराण में कई अलग अलग संवाद हैं, नारद व्यासदेव संवाद, विदुर और मैत्रेय मुनि संवाद, सुखदेव गोस्वामी परीक्षित महाराज संवाद, तो ये पुराण कहलाते हैं। इन स्मृति शास्त्रों को पंचम वेद भी कहा गया है। वैदिक शास्त्रों के अनुसार जो 4 वेद हैं, सामवेद, यजुर्वेद, ऋग्वेद और अथर्ववेद, इन वेदों के अध्ययन के लिए, इनके उच्चारण के लिए कुछ योग्यताओं की आवश्यकता है। साधारण व्यक्ति इन वैदिक शास्त्रों का अध्ययन और पठन पाठन नहीं कर सकता। तो उन विशेष वर्गों के लिए जिनको कि वैदिक शास्त्रों के पठन पाठन की आज्ञा नहीं है, उनके लिए ये स्मृति शास्त्र हैं, जिनको हम पंचम वेद भी कहते हैं। और स्मृति और श्रुति शास्त्र आपस में मिलकर, इनमें कोई आपस में विरोधाभास नहीं है, आपस में मिलकर हम एक वैदिक शास्त्रों को अच्छे ढंग से समझ सकते हैं। पुराण का एक अर्थ ये भी है जो वैदिक शिक्षाओं को पूरा करता है, यानी कि हम वैदिक शिक्षाओं को एक कथा के रूप में जब सुनते हैं तो वो पुराण कहलाते हैं, तो उसको हमारी समझ वैदिक शास्त्रों की और बेहतर हो जाती है। तो इस प्रकार वैदिक शास्त्र श्रुति भी हैं और स्मृति भी हैं और दोनों में कोई विरोधाभास नहीं है। हरे कृष्ण।
Anyway, he didn't talk about Aranyakas.
So Bhagavad Gita is coming under Puranas as well because it's a part of Mahabharata, right? Mahabharata Puran.
Mahabharata is a itihas, he said. Ramayana is a itihas, and they come under Smriti. So itihasas are. And
Prabhuji, you're on mute.
Okay. Sorry. I'm coughing a little bit, so I was. So, yeah. So Mahabharata is itihas, right? They say Ramayana and Mahabharata, he said, was itihas. And they come under Smriti.
Itihas, yeah. So yeah, Bhagavad Gita is part of Mahabharata.
Yeah.
But it's also an Upanishad.
Yeah. So that's why it comes both in Shruti and Smriti, because Upanishads are coming under Shruti. So child abduction alert. So we are also abducted by Maya. Kidnapped by Maya. Like to lure a child, right? What you do? You give him, like they were trying to lure Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They gave him Sandesh. They gave him only Sandesh they gave him, and they gave him a good ride. So in this way, you lure a child by giving some temptation. That's how the child, something that the child will like. So similarly, we are also able
Like
to.
Kali Krishna Das was lured by the Bhattahari tribes. And he was with the Lord, like we were also.
With the Lord, yes. But yeah, we are being lured by this all. That's why they say every moment is a choice, right? They're like that. So there is Maya that is calling and Krishna is calling. So who we will be tempted by? So normally we don't think like that. We think like whatever I'm doing is all right. So but every moment like these desires that are coming, there are all kinds of desires that come. Some are like towards taking us towards Krishna, and some are taking us towards material enjoyment. So who we will be lured? We should not be lured by the temptations of, but we should have some better happiness. Otherwise. And sometimes we think we'll get crazy, right? If I do Krishna consciousness 24 hours a day, I cannot do. I need some entertainment, right? Some enjoyment. So in the beginning, it's like that. We need some other time. But then when you start getting, then you can say, I will do this all the time because it's so nice. Some of you are like that, right? That you want to do it all the time. And you don't have any interest in anything else, in sports, in politics, in nothing. So you become anya bilashita shunyam. So that's how it doesn't interest anymore. And all the things about this world, they are always changing. So what is there to keep knowing about this world? As Prabhupada says, all the bad news only when you open the newspaper or open your internet. It's all, yeah, today Trump is saying like this, then tomorrow this will be the president, then something, and then always debate going on. In this ever changing world, we have nothing to do with it really. And when we die, then all this becomes all history. And as Prabhupada says, this is all a list of names only. As we move in time, then everything will be just list of names. Like we ourselves will be some name, and then our children and their children. As we move in time, everything will be just a long list of names. So how this material world is moving, and at every moment we think like this is the most important stage of material world. This we are like in 18th century, 19th century, they were thinking that this is the most important like phenomenon going on in this. But now it is not important. It's gone in the past, and the world has changed. So many things have happened. So like that. It's ever changing. That's why Krishna says, "Na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sata." Don't focus on the ever changing things. Focus on things that are permanent, and that is the soul or relationship with Krishna. So that's how. Okay, we'll read out now. It's too much time we give here. Okay. Okay, so now we will read about Gopinath Patnaik. We will read, right?
Sure.
Where is Gopinath Patnaik in this document?
That's in Ante Leela, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chapter 9. Ante Leela, chapter 9.
Chapter 9. We should read all the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya over and over again. I mean, there are so many pastimes, so all the books of Chaitanya.
Yeah, and we forget also.
Yeah, we forget. Of course, there are lessons also to remember. Sometimes we may not remember the lessons, I mean the details, and we remember the lessons. But if we remember the details also, it's very nice, right? It's all about Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. And there's two things. There's Krishna Lila going on, and there's Chaitanya Lila also going on. And one person can be in both, in Chaitanya Lila and Krishna Lila, simultaneously. Because in spiritual world, there's no limitation. The ninth chapter is summarized as follows. Gopinath Patnaik, the son of Bhavananda Rai. I think he's the brother of Ramananda Rai. Or who?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Was engaged in the service of the government, but he misappropriated some funds from the treasury. Therefore, the Bada Jana, the eldest son of King Pratap Rudra, ordered that he be punished by death. So he goofed, something he did. He cheated or something, he took money from the treasury, and Pratap Rudra's son, who was ruling, said he should die. Thus Gopinath Patnaik was raised on the Changa to be killed. So I think Changa is some place you raise up and then there are spikes at the bottom, right? And then you dropped on the spikes, on the sharp spikes, iron spikes or whatever it may be, some metal spikes. It's a very bad way to die. They will pierce your body in different places. It's like Bhishma Dev, whose body was pierced by arrows in all the places. But by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was delivered. Moreover, he was promoted even to a higher post. Okay. The innumerable Glorious followers, how many verses are there? Maybe there are some purports also, which is Prabhupada is saying. No purport. The innumerable glorious followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought a constant flood to the desert-like hearts of the unfortunate with an inundation of ecstatic love. So our heart without Krishna consciousness is like desert. There is no joy. But then when Krishna consciousness comes in life, it's like a flood. We may not experience, all of us may not experience. Some, devotees experience like that. This is so joyful. So, all glories to Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the most merciful incarnation, all glories to Lord Nityananda, whose heart is always compassionate. Glories to Advaita Acharya, who is very merciful. All glories to devotees of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who are always overwhelmed by transcendental bliss. Thus Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived at Nilachal, Jagannath Puri, with his personal devotees, always merged in ecstatic love for Krishna. So he was experiencing all kinds of joy in Jagannath Puri. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always felt waves of separation from Krishna, externally and internally. His mind and body were agitated by various spiritual transformations. So he was experiencing viraha. And sometimes he would, his arms would extend very far, long arms. Already he has Ajanulambita Bhujo. And sometimes, as if to embrace Krishna, his arms would extend very much, as if there were no bones, just the arms are extending like. And sometimes the arms would be inside, the all symptoms of ecstasy. During the day, he chanted, danced, and saw Lord Jagannath in the temple. At night, he tasted transcendental bliss in the company of Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar. So, night time he was discussing, and daytime he was doing Sankirtan and chanting and dancing. People from these three worlds used to come to visit Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He had no job, so there was no job he had to go to. People from three worlds used to come to visit Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And sometimes you think, how will he maintain himself? Well, he was, so is the Supreme Lord. Anyone who saw him received the transcendental treasure of love for Krishna. Like sometimes devotees are told, go get a job, you're chanting on the street like this, Harinam. Better to get a job and make some money. So Sachi Devi also, when she had Lord Chaitanya, she said, sometimes I see all the demigods come, all these celestial beings come, and they offer prayers to this Nimai. So I'm hearing all these different kinds of voices. So everybody comes to see Lord Chaitanya. When he was born, a lot of people came for the ceremony, and Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra never saw these people in their village. And some new people were coming. They were wondering who these people were. And they were demigods also, who were disguised as ordinary human beings, and they were coming. Like in Mahaprakash Leela, it is said, when they were doing the Abhishek of Lord Chaitanya, even the demigods took the opportunity and they also lined up to bathe Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, we will also have Abhishek tomorrow. So, it's an opportunity to do bathe Lord Chaitanya. So, anyone who saw him received the transcendental treasure of love for Krishna. So just by seeing him, the inhabitants of 7 higher planetary systems, including the demigods, the Gandharvas and the Kinnaras, and the inhabitants of 7 lower planetary systems, including the demons and serpentine living entities, all visited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the dress of human beings. So, dressed in different ways, people from 7 islands and 9 khandas visited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because Supreme Lord has come, so everybody wants to be. Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, Vyasadev, Sukhdev Goswami. Like an ordinary person like Modi goes somewhere, so many people are flocking to see him, right? There are big crowds of people or some celebrity. So here is the Supreme Lord of all the worlds. And so Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, Vyasadev, Shukdev Goswami, and other great sages came to visit Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Upon seeing him, they became unconscious in ecstatic love for Krishna. Okay. Okay, this is all. Being unable to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the populace outside his room would make a tumultuous sound. Thus, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go outside and tell them, chant Hare Krishna. There were so many people that they could not all fit in his room. So they were make some sound. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would say, because they were probably discussing something, and there's some lot of people when they gather, there's a lot of noise. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would say, go outside and say, chant Hare Krishna. All kinds of people would come to see the Lord, and upon seeing him, they would be overwhelmed with ecstatic love for Krishna. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed his days and nights. One day, people suddenly came to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and informed him, Gopinath Patnaik, the son of Bhavananda Rai, has been condemned to death by the Badajana, the eldest son of the king, and has been raised on the Changa. So Prabhupada described what is the Changa. It consists of a raised platform on which the condemned was made to stand. Underneath the platform, there were stationary upright swords. Oh, so there are swords. The condemned man would be pushed down onto the swords, and in this way he would die. For some reason, Gopinath Patnaik had been condemned to death and therefore had been raised upon the Changa. So he was going to be pushed onto the swords. So like that. The Badajan has placed swords beneath the platform. The Badajana has placed swords beneath the platform. They said, and will throw Gopinath upon them. O Lord, only if you protect him will he be saved. So he is Ramananda Rai is very dear to Lord Chaitanya, and he is the son of the brother of Ramananda Rai, Bhavananda Rai. So it was like he's
So
going to, yeah.
Ramananda Rai is Arjun
Uh,
and Gopinath Patnaik is Yudhishthir Maharaj. These 5 sons of the 5 Pandavas.
Ramananda Rai is Arjun, yeah, and Bhavananda Rai is.
No, Bhavananda Rai is Pandu, his father, but this Gopinath Patnaik is Yudhishthir, his eldest son.
Okay, so Yudhishthir and Arjun, but you are saying Ramananda Rai is Arjun. And yeah, that Arjun and Vishaka combined, right? And
Mhm.
Ramananda Rai's brother Bhavananda Rai is Pandu,
Mhm.
and Pandu's son is Gopinath, who is Yudhishthir. So, okay. So
Yeah,
Arjun,
but the thing is, Yudhishthir Maharaj is Dharmaraj. Why would he do such a thing as he's misusing the funds or as we read?
okay, so that's. So did he, what did he do? We'll find out actually. Did he do actually But he was saved because he was connected, right, to the devotees.
Yeah, he did it actually. Yeah, you can read.
Bhavananda Rai and his entire family are your servants. Therefore, it is quite fitting for you to save the son of Bhavananda Rai. So they all came to Lord Chaitanya and said, Gopinath Patnaik is going to be killed, and Bhavananda Rai is your, they are all your devotees, so you should save him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired, why is the king chastising him? Thereupon the people described the entire incident. So why is punished? So they said this is the reason, this whatever. They said Gopinath Patnaik, the brother of Ramananda Rai, has always been a treasurer for the government. He served in the place known as Malajatya Dandapat, soliciting and collecting money there and depositing it in the government treasury. So he's connected with government treasury. He deposits money by collecting. Once, when he deposited the collection, however, a balance of 200,000 kahanas of conch shell was due from him. Therefore, the king demanded this sum. So he did not maybe deposit everything. There was a balance. And king said, give me that, whatever is due. Gopinath Patnaik replied, there is no money. I can immediately give you in cash. So maybe the money he collected, he didn't deposit all the money in the treasury, which was supposed to deposit. He used some of the money for some other purpose. So he didn't have money. And the king came to know that he owes 200,000, some, whatever currency, kahanas. So he asked him, can you give me? Gopinath Patnaik replied, there is no money I can immediately give you in cash. So maybe he invested in or something he did. Please give me time. Gradually I shall purchase and sell my gross goods and in this way fill your treasury. There are 10 to 12 good horses. So he said, I will sell my assets and give you the money. Take them immediately for a proper price. After saying this, he brought all the horses to the door of the king. So, in lieu of money, you take my horses. And he had 10, 12 good horses. So, one of the princes knew how to estimate the prices of horses very well. So the king's he said, okay, let's see how much he owes and how much is the price of the horse. They're very calculative. Thus the king sent for him to come with his ministers and friends. So the prince could know, so the king said, okay. The prince, however, purposely gave a reduced estimate for the value of the horses. When Gopinath Patnaik heard the price quoted, he was very angry. So they said this prince did not know proper. He purposely gave a lesser price for the horses. And then Gopinath Patnaik said, no, no, that is not the right price. He became angry. It's like something is worth $1,000 and he said it's only worth $500. And Gopinath Patnaik became very angry. He said, no, this is not the right price. That prince had a personal idiosyncrasy of turning his neck and facing the sky, looking here and there again and again. So maybe he had some disease or he was just looking here and there all the time. His neck was always moving and facing the sky and looking like this. Okay. Gopinath Patnaik criticized.
Habits.
Huh?
Some people have some habits. That's called idiosyncrasy.
Idiosyncrasies, yeah. Correct. Right. Particular habit they have.
There's a unique characteristic habit or mannerism that is specific to an individual.
Okay. Like some people they bite their nails, you know,
Mm.
something like that. So, so he was also had some habit of looking here and there. Gopinath Patnaik criticized the prince. He was unafraid of the prince because the king was very kind towards him. So it was maybe the king's son, but Gopinath Patnaik knew my king is very favorable to me, so I can criticize his son. Or maybe it was his son, or I don't know, prince it says, but must be his son. Gopinath Patnaik said, "My horses never turn their necks or look upward." He says, "My horses are not like you, who are always moving your head like this and that. Therefore, the price for them should not be reduced." So, indirectly, he was mocking his habit. That you are always, moving your head here and there. My horses are not like that. So, price should be properly estimated. Hearing this criticism, the prince became very angry because now it's personal criticism. He's pointing out how he's going before the king. He made some false allegations against Gopinath Patnaik. So he became very angry. He wanted to take revenge. So sometimes they make up a story. So he made some false uh, accusation. Thus, this Gopinath Patnaik, he said, is unwilling to pay the money due. Instead, he's squandering it under some pretext. If you issue an order, I can put him on the changa and thus realize the money. Okay, so he instigated the king to punish him. The king replied, "You can adopt whatever means you think is best. Any device by which you can somehow realize the money is all right." So,
But killing him, how would he realize the money?
so I think they were going to threaten him maybe and thus get the money. I don't know if they were planning to actually kill him. Sometimes, some threat is they will send some gundas to extract the money or something like that. So, like that, he was saying, it seems like that because if he's killed, then how the money can be realized? I was also thinking. Um, so then, thus the prince went back, raised Gopinath Patnaik onto the platform of Changa, and spread swords below upon which to throw him. Okay, so, but maybe they are going to kill him because I don't know how it works. But after hearing this explanation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied with affectionate anger, "Gopinath Patnaik does not want to pay the king the money that is due," the Lord said. "How then is the king at fault in punishing him?" So it is little bit, he gave the 10 to 12 horses, but the prince, he did not give the proper price. And the king believed, and then Gopinath Patnaik insulted the prince by saying, my horses are not like you." So then the prince wanted to take a revenge. So he made some false allegation that he is not giving the money, so we should put him on the changa. So I don't know how this story is like. Okay. So after hearing this explanation, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied with affectionate anger. Okay. Gopinath Patnaik does not want to pay the king the money that is due. The Lord said, "How then is the king at fault in punishing him?" So how can you blame the king? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gopinath Patnaik is in charge of collecting money on behalf of the government, but he misappropriates it. Not fearing the king, he squanders it to see dancing girls. So, okay, so here it is that what he's doing with the money. If one is intelligent, let him perform service to the government, and after paying the government, he can spend whatever money is left. At that time, another person came there in great haste, bringing the news that Vaninath Rai and his entire family had been arrested. So while this was going on, another person came. Vaninath Rai, who is this, and his entire family had been arrested. Okay. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "The king must personally realize the money that is due. I am but a sannyasi, a member of the renounced order. What can I do?"
Vaninath is another brother
Okay.
of Ramananda, Gopinath, Vaninath. They are brothers.
Okay. Ramananda Rai, Bhavananda Rai, Vaninath Rai. Yeah. So he was also arrested. Why was he arrested? Don't know. Then all the devotees headed by Swarup Damodar Goswami fell at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and submitted the following plea. Everybody is now petitioning. All the members of Ramananda Rai's family are your eternal servants. Now they're in danger. It is not befitting for you to be indifferent to them in this way. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was unsympathetic to Ramananda Rai and his. So the devotees they have a soft heart. Sarup Damodar Goswami, and they came and said, "You should intervene." After hearing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke in an angry mood. "You want to order me to go to the king?" He said, so he's saying, you want to order me to go to so should I go and see the king? Your opinion is that I should go to the king's palace and spread my cloth to beg money from him? Means beg for, not money, but maybe for the release of Gopinath Patnaik. Of course, a sannyasi or brahmana may beg up to 5 gandas, but why should he be granted the inappropriate sum? Or maybe he's thinking that I will beg the amount that Gopinath Patnaik is due, and then I will give it back, and then he will be released. Why should he be granted the inappropriate sum of 200,000 kahanas of concha? Then another person came with the news that Gopinath had already been set up to be thrown upon the point of the swords. So somebody said, now he's about to die. He's already there, way up on the platform, and he's going to be pushed. Hearing this news, all the devotees again appealed to the Lord, but the Lord replied, I am a beggar. It is impossible for me to do anything about this. Therefore, if you want to save him, you should all pray together at the lotus feet of Jagannath. He is himself Jagannath. Lord Jagannath is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He possesses all potencies, therefore he is able to act freely and can do and undo whatever he likes. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied in this way, an officer named Harichandan Patra went to the king and spoke with him. So, somebody went to the king. After all, he said, Gopinath Patnaik is your faithful servant. So somebody went from maybe, who is this person? He went and spoke, and he said, Gopinath Patnaik is your faithful servant. To condemn a servant is not good behavior. Who is saying this to whom? His only fault is that,
I guess the officer.
The officer is saying that to the king. Yeah, he spoke with him. So maybe to condemn a servant is not death, is not good behavior. So he says, he is serving you for so many. Why are you killing him? His only fault is that he owes some money to the government. If he is killed, however, what profit will be there? The government will be the loser, for it will not get the money. Like also Vasudeva and Devaki, right? When Kans came to know, Narad Muni came and told Kans that night you don't know what happened. And he told the whole story of how Krishna was taken in the middle of the night to Vrindavan, Gokul. And then he wanted to kill Vasudeva and Devaki. And then Narad Muni said, what will you get by killing Vasudeva and Devaki? It is, the child is already there. Why are you killing Vasudeva and Devaki? So he also is saying, what will you get by killing him? You will not get the money. It would be better to take the horses for a proper price and let him gradually repay the balance. Why are you killing him unnecessarily? So this person went and said, take the horses and give the price, and then in due course of time he will pay. The king answered in surprise, I did not know about all this. Why should his life be taken? I only want the money from him. So king is also like little foolish, right? We can say that he didn't investigate into the incident because the prince told something, he believed it, and he just, to kill somebody like that, it's like, I don't know.
Just because the prince was hurt when he was criticized that way in front of others for his idiosyncrasy. So.
Yeah. So sometimes the insult, somebody can go to any extreme to avenge the insult. Gopinath Patnaik also he said like that. So go there and adjust everything. I want only the payment, not his life. So king said, okay, go and stop that. Harichandan then returned and informed the prince of king's desire, and immediately Gopinath Patnaik was taken down from the Changa. Then he was told that the king demanded the money due him and asked what means he would adopt to pay it. Kindly take my horses, he replied, for a proper price. So again he said, take my horses. I shall gradually pay the balance as I can. If it is not billing the 200,000 kahanas, then I will give the whatever is the balance. Without consideration, however, you are going to take. Time was set for the payment of the balance, and Gopinath Patnaik was released. So said, okay, in this much time you should pay this much. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from the messenger, what was Vaninath doing when he was arrested and brought there? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to know that, so Vaninath, he was arrested also, we heard before. So what was he doing? The messenger replied, he was fearlessly, incessantly chanting the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. He counted the chants on the fingers of both hands, and after he had finished chanting 1,000 times, he would make a mark on his body. Hearing this news, the Lord was very pleased. Who can understand the mercy of the Lord upon his devotee? So he was also arrested, and while he was arrested, he was chanting. It doesn't mention like that, or maybe he was just chanting at that time because Gopinath Patnaik was, on the Changa and like that. So maybe that time he was chanting, or was it afterwards he was chanting?
No,
So
no. While he was arrested,
he was
he
chanting.
was. But they don't say why he was arrested.
Yeah, it's not saying. Hearing this news, the Lord was very pleased. Who can understand the mercy of Lord Chaitanya upon his devotee? At that time, Kashi Mishra came to the residence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Lord talked with him with some agitation. So Kashi Mishra is the one who is he? Kashi Mishra is the one who arranged
Who arranged for the residents in Jagannath Puri for the people who come from Bengal also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's residence.
Yeah. He is the spiritual master of who? Was it Pratap?
Pratap.
Or Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya?
So both of them were spiritual master. Yeah.
I cannot stay here any longer, the Lord said. I shall go to Alalnath. There are too many disturbances here and I cannot get any rest. So, too many things going on here. He says, I should go to a peaceful place. All the family members of Bhavananda Rai are engaged in government service, but they spend the government's revenue in various ways. What is the fault on the part of the king? He wants the government's money. However, when they are punished for failing to pay the government its due, they come to me to release them. When the king put Gopinath Patnaik on the Changa, messenger came 4 times to inform me about the incident. So they only misuse the money and then they come to me. As a beggar sannyasi, as a mendicant, I wish to live alone in a solitary place, but these people come to tell me about their unhappiness and disturb me. Jagannath has saved him once from death today, but if tomorrow he again does not pay what he owes the treasury, who will give him protection? So again tomorrow he will do something. So Prabhupada quotes this verse that if one does sinful activities, then he is saved. But if a devotee purposely commits sinful activities in the hope that Krishna will give him protection, Krishna will not protect him. So Jagannath has saved today, but if he commits the same offense again, who will give him protection? So, if I hear about the activities of materialistic persons, my mind becomes agitated. There is no need for me to stay here and be disturbed in that way. Since I don't want to hear about all these things, Kashi Mishra caught hold of the Lord's lotus feet and said, why should you be agitated by these affairs? You are renowned sannyasi. What connections do you have? Or one who worships you for some material purpose is blind to all knowledge. So he says, why you are renounced, why you should be disturbed. Kashi Mishra continued, if one engages in devotional service for your satisfaction, this will result in his increasingly awakening his dormant love for you. But if one engages in your devotional service for material purpose, you should be considered number one fool. Okay. It is only for your sake that Ramananda Rai resigned from the governorship of South India and Sanatan Goswami gave up his post as minister. So, so to serve you, Ramananda Rai came. Of course, Lord Chaitanya said, you come to Jagannath Puri. And Sanatan Goswami also. It is for your sake that Raghunath Das gave up all his family relationships. His father sent money and men here to serve him. However, because he received the mercy of your lotus feet, he does not even accept his father's money. Instead, he eats so many people have given up so many things to serve you, and like that. Instead, he eats by begging alms from the centers for distribution of food. Gopinath Patnaik is a good gentleman. He does not desire material benefits from you. So Kashi Mishra is telling Lord Chaitanya that he is a good person. Devotees are always merciful. So it is not Gopinath who sent all those men so that you would release him from his plight. Yeah, so Gopinath didn't send people to you. It was all his friends and servants who came because he was in distress condition. And they know that Gopinath is a soul surrendered to you. Gopinath Patnaik is a pure devotee who worships you only for your satisfaction. He does not care about his personal happiness or distress, for that is the business of a materialist. So here they are glorifying Gopinath Patnaik, but there previously he said he uses the money for the dancing girls or something like that. One who engages in your devotional service 24 hours a day, desiring only your mercy, will very soon attain shelter at your lotus feet. Then Tateinukam, one who seeks your compassion and thus tolerates all kinds of adverse conditions due to the karma of his past deeds, who always engages in your devotional service with his mind, words, and body. And he always offers obeisances unto you, is certainly a bona fide candidate for becoming your unloved devotee. Kindly stay here at Jagannath Puri. Why should you go to Alalnath? Henceforwards, no one will approach you about material. They don't want him to go. So he's saying. Finally, Kashi Mishra told the Lord, if you want to give protection to Gopinath, then Lord Jagannath, who protected him today, will also protect him in the future. After saying this, Kashi Mishra left the abode of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and returned to his own temple. At noon, King Prataprudra came to Kashi Mishra's home. As long as King Prataprudra stayed in Purushottam, he performed one regular duty. He would daily come to the house of Kashi Mishra to massage his lotus feet. So he's the spiritual master. The king would also hear from him about how opulently Lord Jagannath was being served. So
That's amazing. Every day he would come to the spiritual master to do service for him. And being a king, he has so many other duties to perform, right? But that shows his purity.
King would also hear from him about how, and he was in charge of the Jagannath temple, so how Jagannath was being worshipped. When the king began pressing his lotus feet, Kashi Mishra informed him about something through hints. My dear king, he said, please hear one uncommon item of news. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to leave Jagannath Puri and go to Alalnath. When the king heard that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going to Alalnath, he was very unhappy and inquired about the reason. Then Kashi Mishra informed him of all the details. Yeah, he would daily go massage Kashi Mishra. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would also daily go and argue with Sridhar. So, like, of course, that's the Supreme Lord, but daily as a king, he had so many duties. So, when Gopinath Patnaik was lifted onto the Changa, he said all his servants went to inform Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he's telling King Prataprudra what happened. I don't know if he's the king's prince is the same Prataprudra who was.
Yeah, this is King Prataprudra.
No, but previously the king said,
the prince was his son.
The prince was his son. And
Mm-hmm.
Pratap Rudra was the one who said, "You do whatever you want with him," and like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Pratap Rudra. Okay. When Gopinath Patnaik was lifted on the Changa, he said all his servants went to inform Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hearing about this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was extremely sorry at heart, and in anger he chastised Gopinath Patnaik. So he's telling Kashi Mishra, who is telling Kashi Mishra is telling Pratap Rudra what has happened. Because he's mad after sense gratification, the Lord said, he acts as government servant but spends his government's revenue for various sinful activities. The revenue of government is more sacred than the property of a Brahmana. One who misappropriates the government's money and uses it to enjoy sense gratification is most sinful. Of course, that time government was very nice also. Now everybody is trying to evade taxes and so many things. So everywhere there is cheating. The revenue of government is more sacred because government also is cheating. Right? So many scandals in the government. Leaders have done so many scandals. So Sukhdevan Prabhu can tell us all the scandals that going on if he's there.
Can you hear me?
Huh? Yeah.
What were you asking? Sorry.
No, I'm saying you know all the scandals of all the politicians, what they've done and everything,
Oh, okay. But I've never heard this story, Prabhu. What you are reading is very interesting.
right? Yeah. Okay. So the revenue of government is more sacred than the property of a Brahmana. One who misappropriates the government's money and uses it to enjoy sense gratification is most sinful. So Kashi Mishra is telling that Gopinath Patnaik is using. To Lord Chaitanya, he said he's a pure devotee and so many things. One who serves the government but misappropriates the government's revenue is liable to be punished by the king. That is the verdict of all revealed scriptures. The king wanted his revenue paid and did not want to enforce punishment. Therefore, the king is certainly very religious. But Gopinath Patnaik, but who is this king? Then he's talking to Pratap Rudra. So,
He's telling that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told this to me.
oh, okay, okay. Yeah, so he's telling about a conversation. Okay, that makes sense. He, okay, the Lord said here. The king wanted his revenue paid and did not want to enforce punishment. And that king is Prataparudra. Therefore, the king is certainly very religious. But Gopinath Patnaik is a great cheat. He does not pay the revenue to the king, but he wants to my help for release. This is a greatly sinful affair. I cannot tolerate it here. Therefore, I shall leave Jagannath Puri and go to Alalnath, where I shall live peacefully and not hear about all these affairs of materialistic people. When King Prataparudra heard all these details, he felt great pain in his mind. I shall give up all that is due from Gopinath. So he's saying, I will give up. That means that the same king, he says, I will pardon Gopinath Patnaik. Whatever, I don't want anything. I'll pardon whatever he owes me. Like what this debt, he'll become debt free. So he said, if Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will stay here at Jagannath Puri, if even for a moment I could get an interview with Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I would not care for the profit of millions of Chintamani stones. So he was very eager to meet Lord Chaitanya. He said, we cannot have Lord Chaitanya leave from here. At this point, already Gopinath Patnaik was released, but I do not care about this small sum of 200,000 kahanas. What to speak of this? I would indeed sacrifice everything at the lotus feet of the Lord, including my life and kingdom. So to achieve, like they say, to achieve the mercy of Krishna, the great souls, they are ready to give up anything and everything.
I can give up anything for Krishna. And to get Krishna, I can give anything.
I can give up anything for God. Sorry.
I can give up anything for Krishna, and to get Krishna, I can give anything. Whatever it takes, I will do. What things I have to drop and what things I have to do.
Have to do. Okay. So they are very determined. Like sometimes people become determined in their material goal, right? Whatever it takes, I will do this so that I'll pass this exam or whatever. We work hard day and night. So similarly, so we should all have determination like Maharaj Pratap Rudra. So we should come to that. He said, my life, everything, in kingdom, everything I'll give up. Kashi Mishra, he said, I don't, this is a small price. If Lord Chaitanya stays in Jagannath Puri, I'll pardon his debt. And I can do anything for Lord Chaitanya. Kashi Mishra hinted to the king, it is not the Lord's desire that you forfeit the payment. He is unhappy only because the whole family is troubled. So he says, no, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants him to pay. But he is unhappy because the whole family is troubled. The king replied, I had no desire to give pain to Gopinath Patnaik and his family, nor did I know about his being lifted onto the Changa. So he was kind of little disconnected from what is going on, to be thrown on the swords and killed. He sneered at Purushottam Jana. Therefore the prince, he made, sneered means he made like mockery. Therefore the prince tried to scare him as a punishment. But he was about to be thrown, right? It's not like you just scare. Maybe. Go personally to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and keep him at Jagannath Puri with great attention. I shall excuse Gopinath Patnaik from all his debts. Kashi Mishra said, excusing Gopinath Patnaik of all his debts will make the Lord unhappy, for that is not his intention. The king said, I shall absolve Gopinath Patnaik of all his debts, but don't speak of this to the Lord. Simply let him know that all the family members of Bhavananda Rai, include Gopinath Patnaik, are naturally my dear friends. He said, okay, don't tell him that I have pardoned his debt. Bhavananda Rai is worthy of my worship and respect. Therefore, I am always naturally affectionate to his sons. So Ramananda Rai also, he was very affectionate. Prataparudra was affectionate. He said, you can retire and I'll give you a full pension. And you can come. How fortunate you are that Lord Chaitanya is calling you to Jagannath Puri to serve him. I am not able to get his audience and not serve him. So like that, Ramananda Rai's brother, Bhavananda Rai, after offering obeisances to Kashi Mishra, the king returned to his palace and called for both Gopinath and the eldest prince. So his son and Gopinath Patnaik. So Prataparudra called both of them. The king told Gopinath Patnaik, you are excused for all the money you owe the treasury, and the palace known as is again given to you for collection. So you can resume your service. Do not again misappropriate the revenue of the government. In case you think your salary is insufficient, henceforward it will be doubled. So you are taking money from the government, so maybe your salary is less. So after saying this, the king appointed him by offering him a silken wrapper for his body. Go to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said. After taking permission from him, go to your home. I bid you farewell. Now you may go. By the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one can certainly become spiritually advanced. Indeed, no one can estimate the results of his mercy. Gopinath Patnaik achieved the result of kingly opulence due but a glimpse of the Lord's mercy. Therefore, no one can calculate the full value of his mercy. Okay, I don't know. So, Gopinath Patnaik was lifted onto the Changa to be killed and all his money was taken away. But instead, his debts were excused and he was appointed collector in the same place. On one hand, Gopinath Patnaik was unable to clear his debt even by selling all his possessions, but on other, his salary was doubled, and he was honored with silken wrapper. It was not the desire of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Gopinath Patnaik be excused of his debt to the government, nor was it desired that his salary be doubled, or that he be reappointed collector at the same place. So all these things happened, but this was not the Lord's desire. So, of course, nothing happens without the Lord's desire. So, let's see. When Gopinath Patnaik's servants went to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and informed the Lord of his plight, the Lord was somewhat agitated and dissatisfied. The Lord had no intention of awarding his devotee the happiness of material opulence, yet simply because of his being informed, such a great result was obtained. So, a great result was obtained because they came and told Lord Chaitanya, and because Lord Chaitanya said, I'm going to leave Jagannath Puri, and all these events happened. No one can estimate the wonderful characteristics of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva cannot understand the intentions of the Lord. So it all happened because Lord wanted it. Kashi Mishra went to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and informed him in detail of all the king's intention. Upon hearing about Kashi Mishra's tactics with the king, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Kashi Mishra, what you have done? You have made me indirectly take help from the king. When the king heard the details of Gopinath Patnaik's unfortunate condemnation, he was induced to excuse his debt. In particular, he felt that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very sorry about this incident. The Lord did not like the idea that the money forfeited to Gopinath Patnaik was indirectly a contribution to him. Therefore, he immediately protested. So he thought that the king had done a favor because of him. He did not like that idea. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Kashi Mishra said, My dear Lord, the king has done this without reservations. Kindly hear this statement. So king has done not to favor you or anything like that. He just did it on his own. The king said, Speak to the Lord in such a way that he will not think, for my sake, the king has forfeited. So he's telling that Kashi Mishra told uh, that Pratap Rudra told me that don't tell that for my sake you have done it. Means for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's sake. Okay, it's a little bit. Inform Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that all sons of Bhavananda Rai are especially dear to me. I consider them like to be members of my family. So King said to tell you, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that everybody is very dear to me. They are like my family members. Therefore, I have appointed them collectors, not because of you, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but because they are very dear to me. I have appointed them collectors in various places, and although they spend the government's money, eat, drink, plunder, and distribute it as they like, I do not take them very seriously. I made Ramananda Rai the government of Rajamandri. There is practically no account of whatever money he took and distributed in that position. Having been appointed collector, Gopinath in the same way also generally spends 200 to 400,000 kahanas as he likes. Gopinath Patnaik would collect some and pay some, spending it at will, but I would not consider this very seriously. This time, however, he was put into trouble because of a misunderstanding with the prince. So it has been going on, but I was not taking it seriously. The prince created this situation without my knowledge. Huh?
What is he saying about Ramananda?
About?
Ramananda Rai? There is practically no account of whatever money he took and distributed in that position. I made the sons of Bhavananda Rai. I've appointed them as collectors in various places. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that, and they spend the government's money, eat, drink, plunder, and distribute as they like.
Pratap Rudra is saying.
Uh, mhm.
Yeah, he's saying that. Uh, yeah, I made Ramananda Rai the governor of Rajamandri. It is not that out of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's obligation I have pardoned Gopinath Patnaik. It is because they are very dear to me, and it's my own. They are considered like my family members. So even if he misappropriates money, I don't consider it very seriously. And I made Ramananda Rai the governor of Rajamandri. So he was the governor of Madras, as Prabhupada says, like Rajamandri. So he is only one. Ramananda Rai was reporting to Prataparudra. So he was not also taking accounts from him, how much money he's taking and how he's distributing. So, so Gopinath also he spends the way he likes. But because there was misunderstanding with the prince, so all this is being told by who?
Kashi Mishra is telling Chaitanya Mahaprabhu what Prataparudra told him.
Uh, Correct. It can be a little bit very convoluted with so many conversations. And Gopinath Patnaik
Yeah,
would collect, huh?
there's I think a class by Gauranga Prabhu I had heard once. I mean, devotees can do a commentary on this pastime as to what we can learn.
Hmm.
You can hear. I can find that class.
Okay, yeah. Gopinath Patnaik would collect some and pay some, spending it at will, but I would not consider this very seriously. This time, however, he was put into trouble because of a misunderstanding with the prince. The prince created this situation without my knowledge, but actually, I consider all sons of Bhavananda Rai to be like my relatives. Okay, so he says, yeah, it is not because of my intimate relationship with them, I have absolved Gopinath Patnaik of all his debts. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not know this fact. Okay. Whatever I've done, so he's saying, yes, I've done out of my own because of my intimate relationship with the family of having heard from Kashi Mishra all these statements concerning king's mentality. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy. At that time, Bhavananda Rai arrived there. Bhavananda Rai, along with his 5 sons, fell at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who lifted up and embraced him. Thus, Ramananda Rai, all his brothers, and their father met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then Bhavananda Rai began speaking. So, Bhavananda Rai came with Gopinath Patnaik and everybody. And Ramananda Rai also came. All these members of my family, he said, are your eternal servants. You have saved us from this great danger. Therefore, you have purchased us for a proper price. Of course, his son was saved. So, and his son was saved because Prataparudra, Kashi Mishra told Prataparudra that the Lord is planning to leave Jagannath and go to Alalnath. And Prataparudra came to know of everything. And he pardoned. You have now demonstrated your love for your devotees, just as when you previously saved the 5 Pandavas from great danger. But it all happened. Although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not approving all these things, but it's happening by his will only. Gopinath Patnaik, his head covered with silken wrapper, fell at the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and described in detail the king's mercy towards him. The king has excused me for the balance due, he said. He has reappointed to me my post by honoring me with silken cloth and has doubled my salary. I was lifted upon the changa to be killed, but instead I was honored with silken cloth. This is all your mercy. On the changa, I began meditating on your lotus feet, and the power of that remembrance has yielded all these results. Struck with wonders by my affairs, this the populace is glorifying the greatness of your mercy. However, my lord, these are not the principal results of meditating upon your lotus feet. Material opulence is very flickering. So when he was on the changa, he was meditating on Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you see. And I was saved and my salary is doubled, but this is not the actual mercy. Therefore, it is simply a glimpse of the result of your mercy. Prabhupada says, one can achieve the highest perfection of life simply by meditating upon the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Generally, people are concerned with 4 religious principles. By the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the true result of devotional service is the actual actual development of one's dormant love for Krishna in every circumstance. So, by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gopinath Patnaik could understand that the material benefits he had achieved were not ultimate result of meditating upon his lotus feet. True result comes when one is detached from material opulences. Thus, for Gopinath Patnaik prayed to the Lord for such detachment. Your real mercy has been granted to Ramananda Rai and Vaninath Rai, for you have detached them from all material opulence. I think I have not been favored by such mercy. Kindly bestow upon me your mercy, pure mercy, so I may also become renounced. I am no longer interested in material enjoyment. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, if you adopt the renounced order and lose interest in dealing with pound, shilling, and pence, who will take charge of maintaining your large family? Whether you are involved in material activities or become completely renounced, you 5 brothers are all my eternal servants, birth after birth. However, just obey one order from me. Do not spend any of the king's revenue. First, you should pay the revenue due the king, then you may spend the balance for religious and fruitive activities. Don't spend a farthing for sinful activities, for you will be the loser both in this life and the next. After saying this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bade them farewell. Thus, the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was spoken of in the family of Bhavananda Rai. That mercy was clearly demonstrated, although it appeared to be something different. Okay, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced all of them and bade them farewell. Then all the devotees got up and left, loudly chanting the name of Hari. Seeing the extraordinary mercy the Lord granted to the family of Bhavananda Rai, everyone was struck with wonder. They could not understand the behavior of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Indeed, when all the devotees had requested the Lord to bestow his mercy upon Gopinath Patnaik, he replied that he could not do anything. I have simply described the chastisement of Gopinath Patnaik and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's indifference, but the deep meaning of this behavior is difficult to understand. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave so much to Gopinath Patnaik without directly making the request of either Kashi Mishra or the king. The intentions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are so deep that one can understand them only if one has complete faith in service. Whether one understands or not understands, if one hears this incident concerning the activities of Gopinath Patnaik and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's causeless mercy upon him, certainly he will be promoted to the platform of ecstatic love for the Lord, and for him all dangers will be nullified. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Prabhupada Raghunath, always the I, Krishna Das, Sri Chaitanya, following their footsteps. So, what are the lessons?
Whether we understand the lessons or not, okay, this Krishna Das Kaviraj is saying still just hearing this incident will get the ecstatic love for Krishna, because this is a difficult pastime to understand.
Yeah. There was mercy, he was saved, but externally Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says no mercy for him. But then he's saying he's Gopinath Patnaik, he spends his money in inappropriate way. Kashi Mishra is saying no, Gopinath Patnaik is a pure devotee. Maybe he's saying like that, so then Lord says, I will go to Alalnath. Don't bring me all these things.
I think like if a devotee makes a mistake, he thinks that his mistake can be covered, but Krishna doesn't allow that. His mistake is exposed to everyone and he suffers through that greatly, all of with the intention that Krishna wants to make him realize that there's nothing in this material world except Krishna's lotus feet. Like he should not deviate again. So that small mistake of his became big because he also criticized that or made a mockery of that prince, right? And then he was lifted up to the Changa. One mistake also leads to another mistake. So ultimately he realized that I made a mistake, I will not do it again. As like Ajamil also, when he heard the conversation between Vishnudut and Yamadutas, he said, that I have been given a second chance. Now I will not do this again, because he went through a horrible experience.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, Mataji, that's a very good point. But I was also thinking the time when he realized that he has, there was a situation where he was ready to sell his horses, trade off horses, like bartering.